Hi, I'm Tijani from Nigeria. Hello.
Oh, from Nigeria.
Yeah, from Nigeria.
Welcome
Thank
to
you very
Namibia.
much. Your country is nice too.
Yeah.
You don't need an interpreter. Just make sure you understand one another.
Alright, guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, I'm on a journey to Namibia, one of the most beautiful countries in Africa. It's located on the southwestern part of Africa. You can visit Namibia with just a visa fee of 15,000 naira when you apply to the consulate, which is located in Abuja, Nigeria, as well as a two-way ticket trip, a stopover at South Africa, then to your final destination, Windhoek City. So yeah, Namibia is my destination. I'm on a stop at South Africa, and when I get to Namibia, I will be seeing a lot of wildlife stores, and I think I have to shut up now and just go to the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Bye. Arriving at the airport in Windhoek City, we had few encounters with the immigration officer. Sure, we're young boys with Nigerian passports. He was so sure we are a group of musicians in the country to shoot music video. I don't know what musicians have done, but this guy was so sure we're musicians. But yeah, we finally convinced him that no, we're a group of tourists who are coming to the country just for leisure and tourism. Now we're trying to get SIM cards for our phones so we are reachable to all of our friends. This is Namibia, that derived its name from Namib Desert, the oldest desert in the world. It is 12% lesser in size compared to Nigeria, with just population of 2.5 million. Can you imagine that? Nigeria is way bigger than this country with much more population. Namibia is a colony of Germany, which finally gained independence by South Africa. This country is home for diverse wildlife. During this 7-day stay, we'll be traveling around the country, visiting different towns or cities. Windhoek City, which is the largest and capital city. Swakopmund, which is the coastal city. Etosha Park for the wildlife. And Namib Desert itself. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention, as well as the Imba tribe, which we finally found them in the mountains close to Angola. On this episode, we'll be touring around the largest and capital city, which is Windhoek City. The road here is well tiled and looking so smooth. City with very good atmosphere, but too cold. I think since we've been driving, I'll say 40% of population I'm seeing here are white. Here is that train station, and here's the police station. Few minutes we arrived at our Airbnb apartment, which is Essence. Quite an exotic place to be at. I packed for summer, not knowing where I was going to have the temperature between 6 degrees Celsius to 14 degrees Celsius. Yeah guys, it's day 2. Good morning. First things first, I'm going to say is people really sold out Africa in the wrong manner. Namibia is very awesome.
I'm going to be stepping out of my bedroom, so let's have a tour around the compound. Let's go. If you don't want to sit indoor, this is outside the living room, right?
It's so fucking cold outside here.
Right? The sun you're seeing up there is a scam.
This is what they drive here. Everybody drives E-Lok, something that has a crazy ass tire, 4 wheels, then a space behind.
It is well secured. And you see, the fence is very tall. It's not a normal regular fence, and it has, okay, yeah, look at the fence.
After the tour of our Airbnb apartment, we'll be going out to explore the Windhoek City.
With me here is chocolate bread. It's actually bigger than this, I've been eating it since yesterday. It's 25 Namibian dollar.
$1 was equivalent to 18 Namibian dollar.
If you look through the nylon, you can see vegetables in it and all. Yeah.
We'll be exploring Independence Avenue, a lively street filled with shop, restaurants, and markets, visiting the German church built in 1904, the Namibian National Museum, the Heroes Eka. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I'm outside the church and I'm wearing nose mask because it's too cold and I can't breathe well without having my nose hurt. So I had no idea that there exists an African country with such high population of white tourists. Everywhere I visited, we had lesser percentage of black tourists and higher percentage of white tourists.
Because we remove the skin on top, this one over here, and the brown thing, we eat it. It's more like sweet, but you don't swallow it. You have to spit it out. So what these gentlemen do, they break the nut open in the middle. You can hear the sound. So they normally find this nut inside. They take it out. They put it in water for a couple of days to make the skin on top soft. So once it's soft, they use a pen to draw different kinds of animals you guys are likely to see when you go to Etosha, if you are lucky. Okay? So when they start drawing with a pen, after that they use this special knife to start carving on it. In the end, you get something like this. So basically, they are making a key holder. So they draw different kinds of animals.
Really?
And
Oops, sorry.
they sell this for 50 Namibian dollars. It's a key holder. It doesn't break unless you miss the names. So there's also space here. They write your name, whatever you want, and it takes them around 3 to 5 seconds. They are done.
The birds here literally never ran away from us. They were close by until they are threatened by a continuous action. In this church, they preach in German language and it's said to occupy 600 people.
So everybody who comes here must at least be able to understand it. Black or white, you understand the language, you speak the language, you are welcome. It's a church, and it's quite very big on the inside. They say it can take up to 600 people.
Zebra crossing is a thing here, and let's move to the museum. Outside the museum is the statue of the first president of Namibia.
So the president of Namibia, he ran the country for 5 years. After that, the people host elections again. So for 15 years, he was the president.
He was a good man.
Yes. That's why he
When did they get independent?
1990 on the 21st of March.
So who was colonizing them by then?
By then it was the Boers in South Africa.
Who was?
The Boers.
Was.
Yes.
Of South Africa.
Yes. The Boers that was colonizing South Africa at the time. They were colonizing Namibia as well.
That's
Who
British. Who was?
Yes.
The Boers and the British.
So with the apartheid system in South Africa,
They affected them.
when Germany lost the First World War, they left and they came to take over. So they brought apartheid into Namibia as well. The Germans eventually started building railway station because they were interested in minerals. So when they started building a railway station, it made the two tribes quite very angry because these two tribes depended on their land and cattle and grazing. So when the Germans were building the railway station, they were damaging most of their land and they took also most of their land. So it made these two groups very angry. Although they were not partners, eventually they started fighting together against the Germans. So if you look at the statue over there, it represents a Nama and a HERERO. They came together to fight against the Germans because they were tired of how the Germans were treating them, taking their cattle and their land as well. Okay, so when then two tribes started fighting back, the Germans started fighting back as well. And that's where the genocide of 1904, 1908 started as well. Okay.
When the Germans started?
Genocide.
The genocide. We can consider what
There was a genocide in 90 something.
1904.
Yeah.
These two tribes were fighting back against the Germans because of the way they were being treated in terms of their land and their cattle. So when they started fighting back, the Germans started fighting back as well. One of the things they did was to poison the water supply and to take away the food. So that's how you see basically most of these people. This is how they look like. This is how they were affected.
Like they're suffering from kwachoko or something like that.
Excuse me?
Like they're suffering from kwachoko.
They got disease
You can
because
see.
they
You
poisoned
can
their
see they are
water.
very, very skinny, so they did not have water nor food as well. And most of them, they were forced to move towards the Kalahari Desert. Now the Kalahari Desert is gonna take you towards Botswana. So up until now, we have a large population of the Herero people in the Kalahari Desert. And I think that's also one of the reasons why the two countries decided to abolish visas and everything. If you're from Botswana or from Namibia and you want to go to other countries, you just use your identity, your ID. You don't need a passport or a visa at all.
To go to
Yeah, for me to go to Botswana or for them to come to Namibia.
Also for South Africa, you don't need visas.
I think so. I'm not sure about that one. You can go in front, there's another statue again. Site 1904, 1908. That is where most of the central people that were living, the true tribes, were killed. For some of them that were caught, as you can see in the statue over here, some of them were hanged.
They hang them.
Yes,
If they were
hanged.
stubborn and they were fighting back, they hang them.
Yeah, because eventually the tribes, they couldn't defeat the Germans. Some of them surrendered, some of them were able to escape.
So so these people, they hanged themselves.
No, they were hanged. As you can see, this is a German soldier. That's a German soldier holding a gun as well. And those are the Namibians being hanged as well.
Since you said the Germans won, how did the war end?
And after independence, the government created a location called WANAHEDA. So WANAHEDA is a combination of all the tribes you find mostly in Namibia. So the government created that location to say all these two tribes can now stay together in that location. Here, when you are passing by, zebra crossing, the cars stop always.
Now we'll be driving around the city and pointing out few things that we should know. Here is the biggest shopping mall at Namibia.
Yeah, WANAHEDA.
Yes.
What is that?
The WA stands for the Bamboo tribe. The NA stands for the Nama tribe. The HE stands for the Herero tribe. The DA stands for the Damara tribe. So basically represent all those tribes in this direction can now stay together. Because during the time of apartheid, they were all separated. So the government created this location and the tribes are now living together. So those are all different tribes now living together in the named after our current president, which is Hage Geingob. And it's called the Hage Geingob campus. So with the separation with apartheid, the black people were separated from the whites and the coloreds as well. In front of us, there's a sign written ELDORADO. So ELDORADO was a location for the colored people only. So as a colored person, you're supposed to stay in this location. So a colored person is someone who is born from black and white. You are in the middle, you are not black or white, so you are considered as a colored. They were all allowed to stay in this location. They were forced to stay in this location. And as a colored person, you are supposed to have a 4-bedroom house with a sitting room and a kitchen, and a toilet inside. So no matter how much money you have or how much kids you have, you cannot extend the house to make it bigger. So up until now, this location is mostly for just colored people. But if you are black and you want to come stay here, you can do it now because we gain our independence. That is the KATUTURA hospital. That's where all the black people were supposed to go. The green building on the right hand side, that is the Windhoek Correctional Facility. That's the prison, and over there you find people, bad people having free food and free accommodation. The location that I'm turning into is called Herero location. So most of the people that you're going to find in this location are Hereros. And
What does that mean?
Herero?
Yes.
It's a tribe.
Okay.
Yeah. So this location, most of the people in this location are Herero speaking.
These are people that you said were not in good terms with the now, right?
Yes.
Until they come together.
Yes. So this is the formal side of KATUTURA. So there are two sides of KATUTURA, the formal and the informal. The formal side, all these people have water and electricity in their houses. But in the informal, the people do not have water or electricity.
Why?
This
Sorry.
moment?
Excuse me?
Till this moment.
Yes, up until now.
Why is that?
Because the land is considered as an illegal place for people to stay. So the government did not bring water or electricity to the people here. It's an illegal land. The people just came to occupy it because they have nowhere to stay. Now we are deep in KATUTURA. So we are going to visit this local market, a single kota. And this is where the people eat kapana. As you can see, it's very, very, very full. Because this is where a lot of people come to eat kapana. Kapana is the meat that is prepared specially. You only find it in Namibia, the way they prepare it over here.
Sorry, I was asking, the people who don't get water, how do they get water? The illegal informal?
They have to walk a distance to find water in the nearby places. But sometimes in the informal, there is taps as well brought by the government. So you can either go get the water from there.
So none of them are thinking about stealing from the formal people, probably passing pipe or something.
No. Some of them have a cart that they get from the municipality and they put water on it. So this one is a Shibi. You might see that it's very, very busy with a lot of people sitting, enjoying their beer.
Yeah, sorry. Yesterday we went to a mall and they said they don't sell alcohol once it's past 1. Why?
They don't sell alcohol after
1 o'clock.
Yes.
Why?
It's just a rule in Namibia. It's famous for people selling meats and different kinds of items.
Yes, Adi, he ate worm. And after being told he ate worm, his response was, yes, I love it. We are at this local restaurant where we tried their local meal.
The meat costs 150.
Namibian dollar.
Namibian dollar, alright.
Then I put the salsa, 15.
$15 for the salsa.
Because it was very full. I ate it for him. This bread is $4 each. Porridge,
The bread is $4 each,
$10 each.
and the porridge $10 each.
So the total is how much?
It's not about the porridge.
200 to 300.
For everything?
Total is 300 to 400.
So this is basically us spending about $12 US dollars.
Probably
What
the
this is made from? What-
That is now the maize that I showed you.
The maize,
The maize on the other side.
I think this is pap. It's not even cassava, it's pap.
This is like a bread.
Yeah, that is like a bread. So you take the meat, let me just show you. Put it in the sauce, you take as much as you can, then you eat it.
That is a monster.
Then what about this one?
Is that the
bread-
same way you take this?
Yes. You can choose to eat the bread
Alone?
or the porridge.
I pick bread.
Okay.
So this is their porridge.
Can we share one bread?
This is their bread.
Sir Kelvin, please cut small
That is
for me.
good.
This is their
Smaller
you take-
parts, smaller parts.
suya
Thank
All
you.
of this?
I don't know. They give it different names, sha.
It's like tomato this guy. Ah.
And then you must eat with the meat.
Okay, guys. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back together. So you can see that most of them build their houses with tin material. The tin material is because it's the cheapest material they can use to build their house. It's the cheapest material that they can afford. Also, it's because before, when they arrived here, they occupied the land illegally.
Also, apparently, this river or dam has been contaminated. People don't get to swim here anymore. It's just idle. The government only banned people from coming over to this dam, and yeah, they haven't treated it or worked on anything to fix it all up. So it's just here, and on the norms, that's back in the day before it got closed. People would come here to swim, would come here to fish. At the same time, I think they said the weather gets to 45 degrees Celsius in the city, so people get to come here to, cool out, just like people go to the beach in California when it's during summer.
You enter, you buy.
You enter, you drink poison, you cry. You don't know how to swim, you cry. You dig, you drown, you cry.
Sorry, does this thing has weight limit? We need to know if it has weight limit. I'm not in the mood to drown.
You can see.
I can swim. This water is.
Magic. Let's turn this to land.
No, just clean this for me.
Okay,
If you,
make
clean
it
it,
clean.
if you clean it, I'll give you permanent residence.
Wow.
And there's no way they can clean it.
With magic, everything is possible.
I swear, as he left, the thing went back down.
Alright guys, that is it for today with Windhoek City. On every other episode, you get to see every other places I visited while I stayed in Namibia for 7 days. Okay guys, good morning. It is day 3 at Namibia. Day 1 we arrived.